Guys, Seagrand here with my final deck for the Fireside Gathering. I play second, for those of you who don't know yet. I'll probably have it in the title. Final is my rogue deck. It's kind of like a Miracle Oil Rogue. It's a miracle. I play double Blade Flurry, and I play Gadgetson, which was like, you know, the Miracle kind of staple. And this deck does tend to win in one big turn, so I was planning on calling it Miracle Flurry, like McFlurry. Get it? With Miracle and Blade Flurry. But yeah, so basically this deck, I didn't play it. I only played it in the finals in the last game. This deck I find is very strong. It handles Paladin pretty well. Rogue is just seeing a comeback, especially now because Hunter got nerfed, so one of its bad matchups got worse. I mean, one of its bad matchups got better. And it's very strong right now. There's less Control Warrior in the meta, so like this deck doesn't see as much Control Warrior, doesn't see as much Hunter. It's like, why wouldn't you play Rogue, right? It's really, I thought it was a really good call to pick this deck. But yeah, even though I didn't play it much in the tournament, I only played it one game. I have been laddering with this deck, so I do feel that it's very strong. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into the deck list. Double Backstab, really strong 0-mana card, helps you trigger your SI agents and other combo cards. 2 damage to an undamaged minion. With spell power, you pump it to 3, really strong card. Double Prep, this card is broken. You're able to like prep Fan of Knives, prep, ideally with Gadgetson you prep, draw a card for this, and then you can play any other spell basically for free. I find prepping Tinker Sharp Sword Oil is really effective with this card, because 4 mana is really expensive. It's just a really strong tempo card. This card can put you ahead on board. It's really strong with Violet Teacher. Yeah, overall staple. Deadly Poison, +2 weapon attack. This card's really good with Blade Flurry. The 1 mana cost is really good. It helps you get your other combo cards triggered. Really good combo trigger. Yeah, not much else to say about Deadly Poison. Southsea Deckhand. This card is crazy. If you have this card plus a weapon, it helps you trigger your Tinker Sharpsword Oil, and then this card, if this is your only card on the field, becomes a 6/1, so it gives you that guaranteed charge, so you're now guaranteeing 10 damage. If it's Assassin's Blade, it's more, because, you know, Assassin's Blade is 3 + 4, 7. Or wait, is it +4? No, sorry, it's +3, so you would have 6. Yeah, really strong card. Really good throwaway card against aggro. You can just weapon up, summon this, swing into, say, a Mech Warper, and then attack with your weapon. It's kind of like you usually want to hold this card and do fancy stuff with it, but, you know, I really like this card. Double Blade Flurry. This card is like, you play so many good weapon cards now. You play double Deadly Poison. I play 1 Oil and Assassin's Blade, so there's no reason not to play Double Blade Flurry. This card most of the time is how you get game, so that's why I wanted to call it McFlurry, because it's Miracle and Blade Flurry. This card is essentially now so vital because the weapon cards from Rogue, like in GVG, we just got Tinker Oil, but then Assassin's Blade gets to see more play because there's less Harrison Jones. This card is just, to me it makes more sense to play Blade Flurry. Blade Flurry can also help you play around Harrison Jones in a sense, I guess. Like, you play Assassin's Blade, you Deadly Poison, you attack, you Blade Flurry, and then you're still getting great value, but at the same time, you're playing around Harrison. Double Eviscerate, really good card. You pretty much always play this for the 4 damage. All it takes is a combo for this to be 4 damage, so really strong card. Also can hit the face, so burst damage. Double Sap, this card is really strong. You get to bounce big minions. If a Druid innervates or like wild growths a card and stuff like that, bouncing it with Sap is such a good play. Like, having them have to replay it, like at first I didn't think this card was very good when I started playing the game, but you learn to understand and appreciate this card. It helps you push through taunts so you can go for game. Really good card. I play 1 Shiv. I'd like to play 2. I saw everyone in the tournament that I played against, like Ian and stuff, they were all playing 2 Shiv. It's a really strong card. I don't know what I want to cut in place of it because I do like double Fan of Knives. Maybe the Southsea Deckhand, but Shiv is a really strong card. Deal 1 damage, draw a card. It helps start triggering your combos and lets you cycle. Can target face as well. So with spell power, it's 2 damage, draw a card, which is really good. Speaking of spell damage, Blood Mage Thalnos, really staple card. 2 mana, spell damage +1, death rattle, draw a card. Really strong floater. The spell damage is so relevant in this deck. also combos really well with our next card, which is Fan of Knives. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions, draw a card with spell damage at 2. This card is really great against Mech Mage, aggro decks, but it can also, like, with spell damage, it's 2 damage. It's kill shades with spell damage, that's really relevant due to Druid. So yeah, overall, fantastic card. Helps you clear boom bots. It's just really, really good board clear. I play 1 Earthen Ring. This card was really good. I might test Antique Healbot because, again, when I played against, I believe it was Ian, he played Antique Healbot, which is really good because this deck tends to attack with weapon a lot to hit minions before you hit face. So Antique Healbot might be a little better. We do have a lot of 3-drops already in Edwin Van Cleef. This card was actually very dead in the tournament. I love this card because now I always make it a 6/6 basically to play around BGH, and a 6/6 for 3 is still phenomenal value. But every time I drew it, well, okay, the one game I drew it in tournament, it was very clogged. I had like 2 other Fan of Knives, and I just didn't have 9 mana, so I was at 7 mana, and this card was just very awkward. I really like this card, but it seems like another slot that you could mess around with. The Earthen Ring. I would definitely recommend if you're going to take the Earthen Ring, I would play Antique Healbot. But yeah, overall, in testing, this card was awesome because dropping it as a 6/6, say, even against Mech Mage, is really good. Keeping this card going second against Priest when you have coin is really good because then at turn 2, you coin it, and then it's a 4/4, and Priest is like, how do I deal with this? Because you kill Cultists on their turn 3. Double SI Agent, combo, deal 2 damage, 3/3 for 3. Phenomenal card, great value, can hit the face again. So, like, as you notice, this deck has a lot of sneaky ways to get game, just like drop cards, but most of the time you're hitting minions with this. Going second, you can keep this card with coin. Backstab is also, you know, getting this plus backstab is 4 damage to anything you want. Now, the all-star of the deck is Tinker Sharpsword Oil. When I saw this card in GVG, I thought it was way better than it actually is. Like, I saw this card and I was like, this is crazy. Like, I was playing versions, like, really, really fun weapon decks at the beginning of the format with this, like, double Sharpsword Oil, double Assassin's Blade. I was playing, like, some crazy decks. But ultimately, if you go all weapon, you kind of lose out on some of the amazing, fantastic spells Rogue has. But 1 is enough, 2 is good, but I kept, whenever I had 2, I would have a Violet Teacher on board and then Tinker Sharpsword Oil and hit one of the apprentice students, which just kind of sucks because you want the immediate burst damage. Also, it's 4 mana, which I find is really awkward in this deck. I find most of the time you're prepping this anyway, so like the odds that you're going to prep both of your Tinkers is not that high, so that's why I play 1. I play Gnomish Inventor. This card's awesome. You kind of need something else to have in the 4-drop slot, and this is a really good floater. People will tend to ignore this, so it sticks around, and then you could like use Sharpsword Oil and pump this card. It has good stats. 2/4 for 4 and draw a card is great. Really like this card. Have had positive results with it. It's another slot you can mess around with, but I feel like it's a really good filler 4-drop. Really helps the deck curve out nicely. Double Violet Teacher. This card is awesome. Pretty much always keep this card in your opening. Basically, you want prep this card. Well, it's okay, matchup specific. Against aggro, I wouldn't keep Violet Teacher. In slower matchups, like against Control Warrior, against Druid, I would probably keep Violet Teacher. And you want to keep preparation pretty much all the time, just a couple little matchup tidbits. You want to keep 1 prep, usually. Because prep lets you fan early, stuff like that. But it's all matchup specific. Again, if you guys want me to do a mulligan guide, comment down below and I will do my best. I might post on a website or something and do a mulligan guide. If you guys want that, comment down below, let me know. I do appreciate all the feedback and I want to know what you guys want me to do, because if there's an interest for it, I'll do it. If there's not and you guys already know how to mulligan with this deck, then, you know, it kind of makes sense for me not to do it. 1 Assassin's Blade. This card's awesome. Usually with Blade Flurry, you get this card super huge with Deadly Poisons and the oil. And then Blade Flurry them for a ton of damage. So great. Azure Drake helps with that Blade Flurry damage I was just talking about. 5 mana for 4/4 spell damage plus 1 draw card is phenomenal. It tends to stick around a little bit because it's a floater body. They don't really want to give you value on this card. So yeah, really good 5-drop. And then I play 1 Gadgetson and 1 Sprint for like the draw. Gadgetson is really, really good. Even at 6 mana, now you just don't play stuff like Conceal to try and hold on to this card. But basically, I like the Sprint. Ideally, you try not to play Sprint with just by itself. You try and prep it, and then a 4 mana sprint, so you play 2 cards to draw 4 cards, so it's a +2 for 4 mana. It's really, really strong, because sometimes you'll run out of steam, and this card just keeps you going. And Gadgetzin is really strong, as always, in this spell-heavy deck with preps and backstabs, deadly poisons. Yeah, I really like the 1-1 combination. You can mess around with moving it either... At the beginning of the format, people were playing 2 Sprint or 2 Gadgetzin, but I really like the 1-1. Because sometimes you need the 4/4 body. It's so random, but it kind of helps. But in the same time, Sprint can get you that really early game ahead on cards thing. So, yeah, that concludes my Fireside Gathering decks. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Leave me likes, comments, whatever you want to leave me, advice. But yeah, until next time, see you guys. Thanks to everyone at the event. You guys were all really awesome. Commentators said really kind words. I appreciate all of them. So yeah, until March, I will see you guys next time. I'll be making more videos, doing more content. But yeah, peace!